Hi everybody, Derek Anderson here with another cybersecurity tip, and this week I want to talk to you about passwords and why it's important to have a different password for pretty much everything. We're doing that, right? Everybody's got every account, every website you've ever visited, and you've created an account using a username and a password. They're all completely different, completely complex, and of course, obviously you're going to have a hard time remembering those, but we're all doing those best practices, right? I know we're not. And it's very hard to. Our mind is not, we have so many other things on our mind to try to remember a whole bunch of unique, complex passwords on all these different sites that we're creating accounts. It's very difficult. But why is it important that we don't reuse passwords over and over when we're creating these accounts on websites? It's because when these websites, let's say, let's take eBay for example, or even a hotel website, or any website. I mean, it could be anything. And that website gets hacked, compromised. We commonly hear about any credit card data that may have been stolen, or personal identifiable information that was stolen, like Equifax. When they were hacked, it was your name, social security number, date of birth, the identity thieves' dream right there with all of the data they were able to retrieve during that hack. However, but what we don't commonly hear in the headlines is the other data that was breached that can be really detrimental to our security. And that's one of the most common things that hackers are going to take when they compromise a system or any of these websites, is the username and passwords for all of the users that log in to access this site. And then these, once those are stolen, let's say the site has 10 million people that have logged in and created an account, and they're able to steal everybody's username and password from that website, then those get published online, and other hackers and cyber criminals use that information to try to access other accounts where you may have used the same email and password to create accounts on. So now, you just went online to a certain hotel and you made a hotel reservation, and during the checkout process you said, yeah, I'll go ahead and create an account, and with that you use the same password that you commonly do because it's easy to remember. And then 6 months later, that hotel website gets hacked. Hackers steal all of those usernames and passwords. They get published on this lovely thing called the dark web, where information like this lives, and hackers use it to compromise other things. Now they've seen, from this hotel, you used this email address and this password to log in. Now what they're going to try to do is, where else have you used this same username and password? A lot of us have Amazon accounts, eBay accounts, Dropbox accounts, Facebook, social, all sorts of social media, banking, etc., etc. And God forbid, it was your corporate email, or even a Gmail or a Yahoo. No matter what it is, they're going to take that information and try to use it to log into those accounts. So if at this hotel you used your Gmail account and a password you always use, and that's the same email address and password that you use for your eBay or Amazon account, it's really easy for a hacker to take that information and go and try to log in as you. Maybe it works, maybe it doesn't. If you use different passwords or different emails, they wouldn't be able to access that account. But unfortunately, the reality is most of us are using the exact same email address and password to create accounts everywhere we go. And that just gives hackers and cyber criminals the ability to gain access to our other accounts. And ultimately what they're trying to get to is the really good stuff: credit card accounts, bank accounts, your email. Because if they can get into your email, now we can find out where are you banking, all looking through your inbox and everything else to see who's emailing you, what you might have access to. So I know it sounds like a challenge, all of these different password requirements, and how do we remember them all? So a couple quick tips. One, look at where you're creating that account and what's the value of that data. I have what I call a few throwaway passwords. So if I am creating something at a hotel website, one, I'm not going to save my credit card information in there. If I reserve with them again, I'll enter in my credit card information in again. But I'll use a password that I know I commonly reuse it, and if it gets compromised, it's no big deal, because those passwords aren't used or linked to anything sensitive where I might have my credit card saved in. Like on my Amazon, it's easy for me to say, hey Amazon, order me this. Well, Amazon's got to have my credit card on file to do that. So my Amazon account is secured with a better password, a unique password that's not reused anywhere else. Same with my bank account, same with my email account, and anything else that might contain sensitive data. having those throwaway passwords makes it easy for those masses of where it should be. But where you want to have unique passwords that aren't reused anywhere else are sites like I just mentioned, your bank account, your email, any online shopping where you do save in your password, and also your social media. You really don't want to get a hacker to get control of your social media account and then start blasting your friends with spam and viruses that they could hack their account, or posting some embarrassing stuff on your account on your behalf. That would just not be a good thing. So we have some tips and tricks for how to create secure passwords. We also have a password management solution that we offer to our clients. There's a lot of them out there. You can, if you just Google password management, password keeper, there's some out there. LastPass is one off the top of my head. As a company, we use something internally that's unique to managed service providers, and then that allows us to link up our passwords with our clients for security purposes. I'm not going to say what we use. But anyways, there are tools out there. So just find a way to make sure you're definitely not reusing passwords out there unless they're on non-sensitive things. And that's this week's cybersecurity tip. Create complex passwords, don't reuse those passwords, and stay safe and stay vigilant out there, everybody.